Trump
Really interesting.
is one of the most effective politicians, whatever you think of the policy and him as a person, just as a politician, just understanding that always lean in to being more who you are. The people are not savvy about issues, but they smell a phony a mile away.
But if two guys who've been at each other for so long, I mean, it's kind of a Nixon to China thing. I have the credentials. There was nobody who was harder on Trump or more prescient about the fact that he wasn't going to leave office voluntarily than I was. I feel like I have the credentials. But they also respect me because I'm honest about the woke train to...
What happens when Bill Maher, the king of liberal comedy, drops a bombshell praising Donald Trump and completely shredding Joe Biden, all on live TV? It happened on real time, and the crowd went absolutely wild. And trust me, you won't believe what he said. Stick around, because the moment that's got everyone talking is coming up in just a second. I'm Woke Break, and today we're diving into the insane Maher moment that's breaking the internet. Before we jump in, smash that like button if you love seeing political curveballs like this. It seriously helps the channel, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you never miss my next breakdown. Because believe me, Maher did not hold back. And I've got the full scoop, including a key detail no one else is talking about.
They're like an animal. They're instinctive. Like, I smell fear, or I smell alpha, and they smell alpha. And Democrats have to come up with an alpha, and it's not Tim Walz.
No, probably not.
And it's not Tim, the other Tim who ran.
Kane?
Tim Kaine. These are not alphas. It's like this thing of like, let's get a woman and then a docile man who's in every commercial where he's the asshole while mom takes care of business. You know, that's not a message that makes the tribe go, who is strong? Who's strong? Who's strong? Tim Walz. No. Org, give me rock. I need to kill myself because Tim Walz. You know, that you gotta appeal to people at a sort of post-civilization stage where we're kind of at, on a primal level.
All right, let's set the stage. Bill Maher, host of Real Time on HBO, has made a career out of roasting everyone left, right, and center. He's the guy who calls it like he sees it, no filter, no apologies. But on an episode that aired just last week in April 2025, Maher did something no one saw coming. The crowd? They lost it. Social media? It exploded. Why? Because Maher, the same guy who's been dunking on Trump for years, suddenly flipped the script. He praised Trump, while absolutely torching Biden in the same breath. And it was better than anyone could have imagined.
And Trump does it better than anybody.
Trump does, and he started with a rejection principle. What took him from being a joke to being a messenger was two things. One that was really missed in the media, and I was just fortunate to be covering the rallies, so I saw it sooner. We forgot how powerful celebrity is in the American psyche, and that Trump being a TV star, see, I never saw him as a TV star because I've just known him my whole life.
Not just a TV star, but one who played a boss.
Yes. And that apprentice is really everybody wanted to be him. Now, maybe not certain aspects of his personality, but the money, the power, the agency. So they missed that. But when he really turned was, I know who you hate and I know what you hate because they all come to me. And I hate them too, and I will make them pay. Yeah. The idea that Trump was ever selling himself as a cure is bullshit. He was selling himself as a virus.
If you're thinking, wait, what? Yeah, same here. Here's what went down. It all kicked off during Maher's opening monologue, where he started riffing on the current state of politics. But this wasn't just your typical shade. Maher was dropping truth bombs that hit hard. Let's break it down step by step, so you can see exactly why this moment is a total game changer.
I totally understand their hate. A lot of what they hate, I hate too.
Yeah, I get it.
But I just won't go, but I also have a rational mind.
Yes.
So I don't go all the way to then this is, because it is worse to me.
Right.
What, you know, If you don't really believe in the secession of power, if you don't really believe in the emergency of climate change, I can't get on board with you. But yeah, the political instincts, just the connection with people. I mean, people are always saying, I'm saying, it's my editorial this Friday about Republicans being North Korean with their leader, but why? The reason why that they're so afraid of him is that they know he has a connection. If you're a congressman, a senator, he has a connection with my voter.
First up, Maher's big Trump moment. He kicks things off by saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, look, say what you want about Trump, but the guy's got energy. He's out there at 78, rallying like it's 2016, while half the country is still napping. The crowd chuckled, but then Maher doubled down. He said Trump has this knack for cutting through the noise, love him or hate him, he's never boring. Boom. You could feel the energy shift. Liberals in the audience were like, wait, what? Conservatives were nodding. It was absolute chaos. Now, why does this matter? Maher's not endorsing Trump, let's be clear. But he's admitting something the media usually dodges. Trump is still a major force heading into 2025. And with the election looming, that's a bold thing to say. What do you think? Does Maher have a point? Drop a comment, I'm curious to hear your take.
Yes.
That I do not have.
Nope. He will beat you.
I do not have that connection.
He will primary you, and more often than not, you will lose.
You know?
And that's, if all you're about is keeping power, that's all you need to be kept.
Then came the Biden takedown, and oh boy, it was brutal. Maher kicks it off with, Biden's out here acting like he's got it all together, but every speech feels like a Windows update, slow, confusing, and nobody asked for it. The crowd, they erupted, half laughing, half gasping. But Maher didn't stop there. He hit back with, Joe, we love you, but it's 2025. Maybe it's time to hand over the keys to someone who actually knows where they parked the car. Ouch.
Trump
Really interesting.
is one of the most effective politicians, whatever you think of the policy and him as a person, just as a politician, just understanding that always lean in to being more who you are. The people are not savvy about issues, but they smell a phony a mile away. And that kind of shit, nobody else does it. You know, there's a couple of times when, look, I've been his biggest critic for good reason. And when he got reelected, I said, I'm not going to pre-hate anything. And then the first week I said, well, there's lots of things I hate because I do. Okay, there's some things I don't hate also, but the way he can do that and sometimes kind of make me go, oh man, I gotta give.
This wasn't just a jab, it was a wake-up call. Maher's saying what a lot of people are whispering, Biden's struggling to keep up. Harsh? Maybe. Fair? You tell me. Pause this and drop your thoughts in the comments. Was Maher too savage, or was he spot on?
I was very mad at the Democrats when they lost because I said, my two big issues are democracy and the environment, and now I don't have a champion for either. So you lost, and that's what you gave me. So don't be mad at me for calling you losers, loser assholes who fucked this election.
The crowd's reaction? Absolutely everything. You've got people clapping like it's a rock concert, others shaking their heads in disbelief, and Maher? He's just standing there, smirking like he knew he'd stirred the pot. And right after, Twitter lit up. One post said, Maher just said what we're all thinking. Another read, Bill's lost it, defending Trump. It was a perfect split, and that's exactly why this moment is so huge.
Well, the whole thing is about this state is just so fucked with over-taxes and over-regulation.
Sure.
I mean, I last time he was on, I was, kidding him about the fact that I took 3 years to get my solar power turned on. Now I just had my roof redone because of the fires, because now I want a fireproof roof. 2 inspections, and you have to pay for those inspections, They're not free. And I asked this on the show last week. I see it got picked up by a lot of people. Why do I have to have inspectors looking at my roof It's my roof. If it falls on my head, that's my problem. I don't need the government looking over my shoulder here. And this is why we can't get anything done in this state. The government is just too in our fucking business. And he was on last January, and I asked him about this and the red tape, and he had a big answer about, well, we're blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm gonna find out what the exact blah, 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 blah was, and see now that it's a year and 3 months later, what's been done.
Here's the deal. Maher's not picking sides. He's exposing the chaos of 2025 politics. Trump's back in the spotlight, Biden's fighting to stay relevant, and voters? They're fed up. This clip isn't just funny, it's a snapshot of where we are right now. So, which side are you on? Hit the comments, I'm reading every single one.
Let me ask you this, last question. You're going to meet with the president.
I am?
So Kid Rock makes it happen. What do you think has been the response so far? What do you think it will be, and why are you doing it? Which I'm totally for, by the way, and I love it.
I get it. Well, I'm doing it because, first of all, it was presented as
a dare.
not a dare. No, just like, maybe this is a beginning to heal America. Now, I don't have some sort of complex where I think I can heal America. I can't. Okay, let's get that clear. I'm not going to be healing America. But if two guys who've been at each other for so long, I mean, it's kind of a Nixon to China thing. I have the credential. There was nobody who was harder on Trump or more prescient about the fact that he wasn't going to leave office voluntarily than I was. I feel like I have the credentials. But they also respect me because I'm honest about the woke train to crazy.
All right, let's talk. If you loved this breakdown, what's your take? Is Maher onto something, or is he just chasing clout? Drop a comment, let's start a debate. And if you're new here, I drop videos like this all the time, breaking down the wildest moments in politics, culture, you name it. Check out my video on Denzel Washington destroys woke culture.
I've also lost a lot of fans for that. The woke people have left the building, and I'm willing to make that sacrifice. But it does give you a certain credibility. So I just think to meet somebody, first of all, it's an honor to be invited to the White House.
Yes, it is.
And I've already had a couple of people who I said to them, you know, I'm just going to take it as a backhanded compliment that you glide right past the idea that little Bill Maher from Rivervale, New Jersey, just a humble kid from the suburbs, was invited for a private dinner to the White House. You glide right past that to how dare you talk to him, and that you're not impressed by it at all. I'm impressed by it.
Quick question. Should I do a follow-up on Maher's next big moment? Let me know, your votes will decide my next video.
Above any matters of politics or what's right or wrong, the one thing I know for sure about America is this. It's run by mean girls. Mean girls in the press and in politics and in life. And when they smell blood in the water, the lust to finish off a vulnerable person will never be denied. Biden is toast. The walls will keep crumbling, and my pick in the office pool for when he gives it up is August 9th, the 50th anniversary of when Nixon.
Trump roasting Biden and sparking an internet firestorm. 12
He's super old, and there's nothing wrong with being old. There's no shame to it. I'm old, but there are, but there's natural processes that happen, and it seems like he is certainly losing his acuity, which a lot of older men do, and compensating it with this wonderful ability to get people to work together. But I would say, I don't think we need to get a panel of gerontologists to look at the situation. We've all known old people who are like, yeah, we'll take the keys now.
I'm so disappointed that you, like me, not so young, would say this. It's such bullshit. First of all, the same week that he did this, Kamala Harris was over in Korea. I mean, and then he gets his ass on a plane. It can't be easy. He's not, what? He's not a young man. He remembers when the Dead Sea was alive. He told the Wailing Wall to keep it down. No, he's not a young...
Should Kamala Harris run for California governor in 2026 after polls show her leading? I'm going to give that a big no.
She's had her chance several times.
She should run far, far away.
Yeah, I think Kamala Harris would make a great president of a university.